everybody, this is Perch. I'm trying to be in a good mood. I promise. Every now and then I get frustrated by things that are going on in comics, and thankfully you guys send me a lot of really positive mails and good things to talk about. This mail is probably gonna be a little bit more bitter, and I apologize if there's been too much of that lately. But I'm not in a great mood. What's weird is this is healthy for me. I'm getting more fired up about doing more things for comics, and yeah, I do put my money where my mouth is. And I think there are some good things, and there are some distracting things. But comics matter. No, that's not a plug for another channel. Comics matter. They are our escapist entertainment. There are stories that get to transport us away from tough things. They're memories we get to have for the rest of our life. I love comics. I absolutely love comics, and I don't give a shit how cringy or sappy that sounds. Well, the reality is it doesn't sound cringy or sappy to anyone with half a brain. But anyway, let's get into this mail, which is going to send me down a negative path. But them's the breaks, as Chris Claremont would say. It says, here we go. Dear Perch, let me get right to the point. Yesterday at Fan Expo Chicago, I asked Joe Q, that'd be Joe Quesada, about digital distribution. I specifically brought up manga as an example of good digital distribution, and I got a word salad back as a response. Joe Q cited the art style, genre, and oversaturation from movies as reasons that digital can't work in comics. Let me pause here for a second. There's some part of me that wants this to be a lie. That wants this to not be true. I want to believe that. Unfortunately, back in 2007 and 2008, I was working for a company called Tokyo Pop as kind of a consultant, and I was also working for a company called Square Enix as a consultant, and I was basically engaging with Marvel. Now, why was I engaging with Marvel? Because Square Enix happened to be in a joint venture with Disney doing a video game called Kingdom Hearts, and there was a relationship there, and we were trying to talk about digital. I realize I've doxed myself with several people who now know exactly who I am, but you recognize my voice anyway. And this was going on, and we had a conversation with a guy named Ira, Joe Quesada, and a couple other people from Marvel at the time. And I can tell you, the story that you're telling me in this mail is 100% true, because it was the same dumbass story back then too. These are people who should not be employed. They should not be in charge of business. They absolutely should not be in charge of business. It's sad, it's pathetic, and it's painful. Painful for me to read this because you're right. This is not a lie. This is exactly the kind of dumb shit people would say. So let me go back to your mail, and I'll reread that sentence I just did. Joe Q cited the art style, genre, and oversaturation of movies as reasons why digital can't work in comics. It was more of an excuse than an answer, and it felt like he just had no interest in digital and was looking for reasons not to pursue it. Also, I brought up One Piece, and he not only hadn't heard of it, but obviously viewed it as some minor thing no one cared about. Psycho. I don't. What do you even say? What the fuck do you even say? Hey, by the way, One Piece, in terms of digital assets and revenue, right? The net worth, the net value of a property, One Piece is worth more than Spider-Man. It's true. Look it up. Look it up. If you do some bizarre gymnastics around projections of what a Spider-Man movie franchise might look like, you can see some analysis that shows that Spider-Man just beats One Piece. Spider-Man. By the way, that is the number one Marvel property in terms of license revenue and total net value of a license. Spider-Man's number one. One Piece beats it by any fair estimate. One Piece. The manga / anime of a pirate crew whose captain can stretch his body like rubber. Just saying. Just throwing that out there. Okay, we'll finish this mail. To be fair, I'm not as eloquent as you, so my wording wasn't as good as yours and would have been in this situation. Guess what? I made the same argument back in 2008, and it didn't matter then. Didn't matter. I watched Joe Quesada, and Ira shit on Final Fantasy. I watched the two of them so piss off the producers of Final Fantasy, Fujimoto-san and others who were producers at the time. I watched them make them so angry that they vowed not to work with Marvel after that point. Now, keep in mind, Final Fantasy, if you haven't heard of it, just like Dragon Quest, is a pretty decently big franchise. Has made a lot of money. Very popular in Japan. So popular that Disney teamed up to do Kingdom Hearts and work with Square Enix on this game. Does that matter to the guys running the nickel and dime store of Marvel? No, apparently not. Fuck those guys. Bunch of Japanese. We'll get Obel Sobolski on that. He'll use his Japanese powers to explain what all this stuff means. Anyway, I'll go back to the mail. We're almost done. Maybe that is why I got a bad answer. Nope, you got a bad answer because you're talking to a stupid person. However, I find it troubling that Joe Q appeared to have no understanding of manga. Do you have any thoughts on this? That's mail. My thoughts on this is Marvel as a company. I mean, look. I'll say it like it is. Marvel as a company breeds a arrogance and absolute ignorance of anything that is not Marvel. The executives there not only do not care about other brands, but they don't even want to hear about what those other brands are. They don't want to know about it. They don't want to talk about it. They don't care. It's beneath their interest. Marvel has a long history of just not caring what else goes on. They are so self-satisfied and so secure in their ability to keep their jobs that they flout their ignorance and their just general arrogance to comics. This is not just my opinion. You will hear countless people talk about how people at Marvel act like a bunch of pricks on a regular basis and show zero respect for things that they deem unimportant, things that make a lot more money than them. The reality is, in 2022, in 2008, it was very possible and probable that a U.S. comic company could have had a good digital strategy. However, they didn't think it was important. I heard the words come out of the kind of digital new media head, Ira. I had the words come out of his mouth of, I don't think mobile's ever going to really be a thing. I don't see it. Quote unquote. I mean, as close to a quote as my memory will give you. I remember him also saying that Apple has been popular and they've also failed as a company, and I don't really see Apple being successful as a company. This is the guy who's running your tech strategy at Marvel. Big dumbass. And Joe Quesada, I mean, again, God bless him, amazing artist, has definitely done some good things for Marvel. He sat there smirking and could not care less about this stuff. And I'm glad he's gone from Marvel. They need to get rid of a few more. Buckley, Gabriel, a couple other people need to go. Brevoort, unfortunately, needs to go. So is Sobolski. They need to start over. Because the mentality of this company is arrogance. And that is not, first of all, that does not fit a company where you're supposed to know, understand, and care about heroes. But these people spend countless hours patting themselves on the back, infinitely secure that they know everything that's going on, and then they dismiss things like One Piece, a property that is more valuable than what they have. It is. Again, look it up. Google it. The numbers are out there. This is not me being a fanboy to manga. It's facts. It's ones and zeros. It's numbers. There's no excuse in 2022 for not having a digital strategy. If you don't have one and you haven't figured it out, sorry, you're dumb. Because you're no longer in a position where you have to invent. You're now in a position where all you need to do is copy. And if you're too stupid to copy, I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing to me. And on top of that, as long as we're going, what does it say about a company that not only is too stupid to copy something successful, in this case, the Shonen Jump mobile app is generating massive amounts of money, very, very profitable, has helped the company in infinite ways, is defined a digital strategy, and will proceed to pick off customers of comics for the next 20 years because of its strength in its platform and what it does. Not only are they not copying it, but they sit there on their little pretend thrones and act like they're above all of it. They act like, nah, this is no big deal. We know better. We know better. You do not know better. You have failed. I'm sad to see this. I'm absolutely not surprised to see this, but I'm sad to see it because I completely believe you. I completely and absolutely believe you. I had the same experience in person. I have talked to countless creators who have the exact same story. And I get back to, I love comics. I love Wolverine. I love Spider-Man. I love the Avengers. I love all of the adventures we've had. And by the way, no matter how bad certain eras of the comics have been, I'll take the bad to get to the good. Because the good of Marvel Comics, the great stories and everything else that they produced, is still worth it. It is worth going through the Chuck Austin run of X-Men to get to some of the other runs of X-Men. I love comics. And I think it's, at this point, it's pretty clear. I love the comics far more than the people running or previously ran the company. And I can't see inside your heart, of course. But yeah, let's be honest with each other. If you are so oblivious to what's going on in the industry, if you're so willing to completely squander a viable market of digital and just ignore what's going on, you don't love comics. You're there just happy to suck on the tit of the company that was built before you, take their money, and do nothing. Congratulations. You, many of these leaders here, you are the cancer of the comic industry. You are the people that are actively killing it. You are the disease. You're the parasite. You're the COVID. That's what you are. You're not building. You're slowly killing. Face facts.